Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boss Rush Podcast here on BossRushGames.com and on Mixer and Twitch live. I am one of your hosts, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
How's it going?
I see we're both repping some of our favorite podcasts on our shirts.
My radio show that I listen to every day.
Yes, I'm wearing a Giant Bomb shirt. So, my wife got me this shirt actually for my birthday 2 years ago, I want to say.
Yeah, I still want to get a Giant Bomb shirt too because I listen to them very regularly as well. I
think they're on sale right now. I think everything is on sale because of
Yeah, their subscriptions are as well too.
I thought about just re-upping mine for a year right now because it's usually like $60 for a year, I think.
Yeah, it's like
it's 35 now.
Yeah, so that's and that's the thing. I should just do it because the thing is I really want to support them. My problem, my only setback that I have all the time of ordering it is I'm not available a lot of the time to be able to take advantage of the watching it live. Yeah. Like watching stuff live. But then again, the show that I have on my shirt, I don't either. And I pay I think it's like $5 something a month. And you can watch them live. And lately, because, with all this stay home stuff, they haven't been able to do their live shows and their live at night shows. So now every Friday, if you go to their website, they're at night. They're doing live shows that's actually free for anyone to watch. Like anyone can just go and watch it, and you don't need to be a subscriber just because they're that's a good way to get people interested in it. Now those shows are going to be a little bit different than the regular ones because they can swear and all that kind of stuff because it's not on the radio. But man, seriously, I always promote them all the time because it's such a great show. Yeah. They're hilarious. They're so hilarious.
Yeah, they're Giant Bomb I did theirs so I could watch their video stuff, like their archived video stuff, which is all a lot. Like I've been watching their XCOM playthrough. That's really funny. It's like a partially scripted, partially like the beginnings of it are scripted a little bit because they're all taking like a role of one of the characters in the game.
Yeah.
And then each one of them, every other episode, somebody else plays different, plays the game that somebody else left them. Yeah. It's really funny. And there's 40 episodes of it. So I've been making my way through that as I go to bed. I've been putting it on my laptop, but it's fun. I like it. So.
Well, and they're honestly, all of them are such just really good dudes that are just, completely down to earth.
Yeah.
I've talked to or had conversations with some of them through their Twitter, just about just bringing up things or mentioning things, and not all of them are as responsive, but some of them will actually acknowledge your tweets and things like that. But I get it, it would be really hard to talk to and respond to everyone because they've got a big fan base. Mm-hmm. So I get it, but we're not here to talk about other people's podcasts. We're here to talk about our own. This is the Boss Rush Podcast. This is episode 44. Not going to go through a whole lot of housekeeping, but a few things I do want to update people on. Jesse and I started the What's This on Game Pass show that you can check out on our YouTube page. It's where we download weird and quirky and cool games on Game Pass, or bad, and just play them. So encourage you to check that out. This past week was Deliver the Moon and Totally Reliable Delivery Service, and I think this week we're going to check out a little bit of Streets of Rage 4. So I'm pretty excited about that, Jesse. I like where that's going. So Also, if you are checking us out for the first time, please like, subscribe, and share on our YouTube page. If you're watching us live on Twitch and Mixer at Boss Rush Games Live, please follow us. And you can check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com, including all of our podcasts. Just go to bossrushgames.com/subscribe and follow us on social media and everywhere else you want to follow us. So, Jesse, we have a lot to get through today. The Inside Xbox, where they revealed a few of the games coming to Xbox Series X. Mostly, I would say you would call them AA-ish titles, and then ending with the Assassin's Creed stuff. But yeah, the Inside Xbox happened. It was I feel like a lot of people were underwhelmed by it. I mean, I also feel like a lot of people went in with unreasonable expectations, I would say, especially when they said their big reveal stuff were going to come in June and July. But I enjoyed it for what it was, right? Like, I mean, I like to see it. It was a lot of new IP, a lot of interesting games coming. Let me pull up this list here. But what did you think overall while I get this list pulled up?
Yeah, I like, obviously, and I've been saying this, like, because Xbox is definitely, like, I'm mostly a fan of Xbox. Like, I mean, Nintendo is pretty close there. It's just, like, kind of, honestly, the only reason I don't play my Switch as much as I would like to is there are a lot of great games on Switch that I would like to play, but I just don't have the money to spend on both consoles. And so, right now with Game Pass and all that stuff, it's just really hard to try to play anything away from Xbox because there's just so many more options. But for me, like, yeah, it definitely could have been better, because, like, I do feel like they were kind of misleading when they were talking about, like, us getting gameplay like that alone. I am completely 100% with people who are disappointed, because, like, like the whole selling point, this whole entire time leading up to it was that that we were gonna get to see gameplay of Assassin's Creed, which we got zero of.
Well, there was a good 3 or 4 seconds in there scattered throughout the 2-minute trailer.
But that's the thing, though, it's hard to tell what was gameplay, because it was all just basically another CG trailer.
I mean, all the footage they showed, I think they said about 80% of it was in engine. I mean, that's not necessarily gameplay, but that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell it wasn't a CG trailer when I was watching it.
I mean, not a CG trailer, but I mean, it was like a trailer. Is what I meant, a trailer.
It was a very cut together, kind of.
Yeah.
I would say mood piece. Of in-engine footage instead of gameplay stuff, but I mean, other than that, though, like, it didn't deter my excitement for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
No,
I mean, because I've been playing through Odyssey again, and it's I was talking to Ed the other day, and I was telling him, like, I think I'm going to start achievement hunting again, and I think because, like, some of the old stuff that we used to do, a lot of people would talk about platinum trophies on PlayStation, and like, I have one platinum trophy, and that was for Horizon, and that was a really fun platinum to get. But I used to, like, really try to go for achievements in games. I think my proudest one was let's see, Assassin's Creed 2. I got all the achievements in. Gears 1 and 2. I got all the achievements in, and then I don't remember what happened. I think I just kind of lost interest in achievements for a while, and I was playing a lot of Halo, and then
I was playing a lot of Destiny, and that kind of, I kind of lost interest in chasing other games, trophies, and achievements. But I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I was looking at the achievement list, and I was like, man, this is a very gettable achievement list, but it also takes like, I don't know, something like 110 hours to get all of it, and I'm like, well, that's a long time. But
yeah,
I mean, wrapping this back around to Valhalla, they came around and said that this game is nowhere near as long as Odyssey. It's it'll probably be about the size of Origins, which was like I think I played it
60 hours.
I played it pretty thoroughly, and I clocked in about 65 hours.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably about like half of what Odyssey was.
Yeah,
would still be a lot,
Yeah. Plus, they have the whole build your own kind of settlement thing in there, which will probably take up that'll probably take up a lot more time than like just exploring and stuff. So, I mean, like I said, that's not deterring my excitement for Odyssey. And I know there were stories coming out today and yesterday of how and Aaron Greenberg, the president of marketing for Series X games, was he said that they kind of overpromised a little bit on what you were going to see yesterday or this week in the Inside Xbox, and he's apologized and said, they appreciate all the feedback and they'll try to temper people's expectations for the upcoming presentations. So, but I still enjoyed it. Like I always enjoy a good Inside Xbox, and I'm glad we got to see Series X games for the first time. And the first game that they showed actually was Bright Memory Infinite, which is a first person shooter that looked like Bulletstorm meets Titanfall a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was created by one guy.
Yeah.
With some outsourced work like voice acting and music and stuff, but overall made by one guy, and that was a really impressive game.
Yeah, so like I guess there's been some like demos and stuff like that of that game out.
Yeah, I think
in the wild.
I think the first chapter is on Steam actually of Bright Memory, and this is kind of an updated version of that. So
yeah, which from what I've heard, this looked 100 times better. Like it just looked a lot better than that demo that's going around right now. Which makes sense because like you said, it is only one person making it, so when when you make a demo or something like that early in the process of you not even being really done with the game, that can change dramatically, especially if only one person is working on it, and he doesn't have enough time to do that and, try to make sure that little segment of the game is functioning properly to make a demo out of it and then go, continue to work on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game looked very, very interesting. And, the show, just to kind of give like my full thought of like the show overall, obviously they could have done a better job of being a little bit more forthright about what was what kind of game footage and stuff, because we did get a lot of game footage from some of the other games, but I just feel like the one that they had been hyping the most, we got probably the least amount of gameplay of I mean, some of them we didn't get any gameplay like Scorn or whatever, but overall I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I couldn't deny the fact that this is something that they absolutely had to get out there, and this is something that Sony has done very well in the past when they're launching new consoles, where they're right away they want to get out there and show show the people, hey, you know, like we're not only are we working on stuff through our own studios, but look at all this third party support that we have.
Yeah.
You know, like they wanted to make sure that people understand that they've got more support now. Like,
yeah,
you know, like all these Japanese studios and stuff that like were doing almost nothing in the beginning for Xbox One, you know, like because the interest just wasn't there. And I guarantee you part of that is also because, you know, Japan didn't get the Xbox One for another 9 months after it came out. So why would they even bother producing games for a console that their country isn't even able to play on it anyways? So, you know, so I mean, there's a lot of things that they've got to kind of get out there and that are changing. And, you know, the people like you and me may know about, but the, you know, the overall population of people who play games might not, you know these things. So,
yeah.
So, you know, like it was definitely something they needed to do, and we got to see some amazing games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely could have been better, you know, but I think it did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And you know, that is good on them for coming out and saying, hey, you know, like we're sorry that, you know, like that we maybe overhyped this a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like they almost, you know, like on a business aspect, they kind of had to try to get in the, you know, the mind share of people to try to, you know, make sure that people come to see this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it okay to like, you know, like be misleading in any way. But overall, yeah, like I think it was a decent show. And like I said, yeah, could it have been better? Yes. But I, you know,
yeah,
we got to see some great games.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I mean, we'll cover the full list, probably the whole list on Arsenal X this week, because there were a lot of games shown. But I think the one game that really stuck out to me, and I know it's coming to Xbox One also at some point, which they confirmed, was Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is it's the 7th game. It's Yakuza 7, but they're not putting a number on it in the West, which is interesting. I mean, it's kind of like a series reboot a little bit. It's, you know, because 0 through 6 followed the same character all the way through, and Yakuza Like a Dragon is kind of like a JRPG take on the franchise, because the main character is really obsessed with Dragon Quest. He, you know, he pretends everything in his life is a JRPG, and that's why it's a JRPG. So it's really cool. I'm really excited for that, and I think they said it's launching into Game Pass. So
I believe so.
Yeah, so that was the one thing that really stuck out, because it's a major Japanese game that's been exclusive to PlayStation for so long. You know, because Kiwami and Zero, right? Zero and Kiwami just came to Game Pass this year.
Yeah,
and the series has been going on PlayStation for so long, since the PS2 actually. So that was like the one big game that stuck out to me, and it looks cool. Like, it looks really cool. It looks pretty over the top, pretty wacky, and
that's really what caught my attention, is just the comical nature of it. Like, it just seems like such a fun game, just overall, just both in story and in gameplay, you know.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the one game that stuck out for me was the Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah.
So like that game just looked really interesting, and that they played that one right before Yakuza Like a Dragon. So.
Yeah, and dude, that art was all over the place. Like, I felt like it was going to be something like kind of realistic looking, and then like you just get this insert cell shaded anime character here. It kind of reminded me of what Daemon X Machina was trying to do on the Switch but didn't quite get there because obviously you can't really do super realistic on the Switch, really.
Yeah.
But it still had that, cell shaded anime character with a different art style for the mechs in the world. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I think it kind of seemed like it was taking a couple of things that have like really been been popular lately and kind of mixing a couple of different genres together to just make a really anime game. It kind of seems like it's going to have some kind of aspects of like Monster Hunter, with a little bit of like Astral Chain type kind of feel to it, and like a mix of like the Devil May Cry, and it's got a big mix of things. It seems like too, and yeah, and obviously it must be pretty early in the stages of it. Like they've just got like a lot of like concept type kind of videos, or maybe some of those videos were just like older models of the game, like, and they've just kind of been gradually updating and changing up the art styles and stuff like that, because they haven't completely agreed on an exact style yet of what way they want to go. But yeah, like and normally, like I've said in the past, like the Devil May Cry and Bayonetta games and stuff are amazing games, but they don't always connect with me on as much as a lot of people. Like it's a little bit harder for me to get into those kind of games, but I feel like this game seems like it would have enough of a mixture of other things being mixed in as well that it would hold my attention a little bit better. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to both of those games, the Yakuza and Scarlet Nexus, just like getting to see some more of this stuff in the future here. So
yeah.
But
yeah, so another game that kind of stood out in terms of what they said after the Inside Xbox was Dirt 5, which is, it looked like a traditional racing game, right? It just looked like a racing game, but they did confirm that it's going to run at 120 frames a second on the Series X, which it's the first confirmation of a game running at, higher than 60 frames. So I think that's pretty exciting for people who are not only racing fans, but also when Halo Infinite comes out, people are probably going to expect it to run that fast, where, we'll run the, we'll run the campaign at 4K 60 frames a second in the campaign, but we're going to run it at 120 frames a second in the multiplayer, and that's where people are really going to start feeling it, and I think that's pretty exciting news. I mean, I'm not excited for Dirt 5 at all. If I'm going to play a racing game on Xbox, it's going to be Forza something or other, but I think that's exciting to hear that games are taking advantage of the 120 frames a second. Because, when they first said that it was capable of that, people were kind of blowing it off like, yeah, okay, whatever, 120 frames a second. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, the one guy who's not here. Sorry, Ed. We got to take jabs when we can. So. Man, that's funny. The other night when we did a 1v1 with Brody from Diggity Podcast, and we were jabbing at Ed before the show. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we love you, Ed.
It's all out of love, right?
Yeah,
it's when we stop jabbing you is when you should start worrying.
Yeah. We only make fun of people that we love.
Yeah. So, are there any other standouts before we move on from the Inside Xbox stuff?
I mean, like a lot of them, like a lot of the
this
games
seemed like what you would be playing.
Yeah, exactly. But like you know, like I need to go and look a little bit more into the old footage of it, but you know, obviously Scorn is definitely going to be interesting. I've looked at some game footage, and it looks like it almost, from the game footage I've watched, it's almost like a Tomb Raider or a Hellblade meets Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, the movie Aliens kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it is very much like Tomb Raider and stuff, where it's you're in like these creepy looking cave type things that, you know, and you're solving puzzles, and, you know, to make your way through these caves and stuff, like, in these underground tunnels and things like that. So it definitely, and then, like, you know, it's more of a first person shooter, but yeah, like it almost is like a mix of Tomb Raider with like a first person shooter type Aliens kind of things, you know, from what I've seen so far. Yeah. Now, remind you that, like I said, that footage is from like 2014 or something like that, or 2016 or something. I think it was first shown in 2014, and then they eventually, a couple of years after, like, came out with a demo. But then that was it was, from what I understand, it was kind of just scrapped or canceled for a while, but Microsoft must have said, you know, hey, we wouldn't mind, you know, funding this and trying to help make it happen finally, or something, because I think it was only like for PC at first, when it first was talked about. So
yeah.
So and now it will be an exclusive.
Yeah.
Timed exclusive, I think.
Yeah, well, a lot of these have actually been confirmed to be Xbox console exclusives. So
yeah,
I mean, good on Microsoft for, you know, getting some exclusives out of this. But
yeah,
you know, I think a lot of these games, I think, are going to show up on Xbox One also. I mean, they said as much, and I think Sony's probably going to do the same thing when they finally reveal their stuff. But, you know, if you want the 120 frames a second Dirt 5, you're going to get it on Series X. And the thing is, too, is they revealed their new kind of logo that's going to go on the boxes that says optimized for Series X. And it's a pretty, I mean, it's just like a pretty standard, you know, looking thing. It just says optimized for Series X, right?
There's one other thing that I was gonna ask you about the show. So so like people are thinking that intro that we got to the show is gonna be the load up sound and the load up logo and sound that will play when you start up the Series X.
Are you talking about the black screen with the reveal of the Xbox logo? Yeah, I think so. I think they confirmed it.
Okay. Yeah, I like the sound, that load up sound reminds me of either like the PS2 or the PS1 sound that played when you first started up the I think personally it sounds more like the PS2s, but I know a lot of people have said that they think it sounds like PS1s. But I like either way, like that's fine, because honestly, in my opinion, the load up sounds and stuff like that, my favorite is still the PS2, like for the sound, the music that played when you load it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought it sounded awesome, and it's kind of a little bit more like relaxing sound, but I like at the end of it how it just kind of like you hear it slowly fading away in the background, the sound as it's done, the beginning part's done. So
yeah,
I don't know, I really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, so also, let's see, there was Sorry, I got distracted. My kid woke up from her nap like an hour early. So, yeah, there's the last thing about the show I wanted to talk about was the Madden 21 stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And how like a lot of these games support smart delivery except for Madden, but that's what it's called, right? Smart delivery, right? Where they
smart
and
delivery.
Every single game in this presentation does smart delivery except for Madden, who's doing their own version of it called Next Level, which you have to buy the game on Xbox One first
during a certain time period,
and you have to buy the Xbox Series X and redeem a code on Series X to get it before December 31st, 2020. That's such an EA way to go about smart delivery. Yeah. Microsoft made it so easy, and EA's like, nah.
Yeah, we'll do our own thing. We'll make it more convoluted and try to somehow think that we're making ourselves look good.
Yeah, and that
it doesn't really
here's the thing though,
come on, EA.
It's going to be on EA Access by January anyway.
Yeah.
And anybody who wants to play Madden's going to play it by then anyway, right? I mean, I get it, but also like it also confirms that, even though Microsoft's doing it and Ubisoft is doing it and a lot, Cyberpunk's doing it, a lot of these other games are doing it, like it's still a company by company basis on if they opt into this or not. And of course, EA is going to be the first one that says, maybe we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, which makes me kind of feel like Activision will probably not do it too, because they're going to make so much money off of Call of Duty doing it that way. Double dipping on Call of Duty or whatever. And I don't know. I'm not trying to put words in Activision's mouth, obviously, because, that's they haven't said anything, but.
Well, and honestly, in my opinion, it's the Call of Duties and the NBAs and all that stuff who should be the ones that are all in on this, because you know what? By the time a lot of these people are getting the Series X, the next one's going to be out.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
Yeah.
What does it matter if you're saying, hey, you bought the game and maybe you're going to get you get the Series X, and then soon we'll be coming out with our new game anyway, so sure, why not? You can play your older one on the next console without having to buy it again. I mean, it just sounds so stupid to when you have a game that you release like clockwork every single year, a new one. Why are you going to worry about someone being able to play it on their other console now? It's just kind of ridiculous in my opinion, because very well they're going to buy the next game.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of companies are also, I mean, just to play off what you're saying now is like, I think a lot of people are going to try to wait and see what PlayStation is doing about their version of smart delivery, if they even have one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have backwards compatibility, but like they haven't confirmed that like they're going to have games on both consoles yet. I'm pretty sure they said that whatever comes out on PlayStation 5 is not going to be on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
In terms of first party. So like they're not going to have a reason for smart delivery. I mean, it'll probably run PlayStation 4 games the way that the Pro does, like a little bit sharper, and you'll be able to adjust settings accordingly, but like they don't have a smart delivery system that we know of yet. So like I wonder if companies are actually waiting to see if that happens. And like if you have smart delivery on Xbox, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla for example, if you have smart delivery on Xbox, you buy it once on Xbox. Are people who are going to play it on PlayStation 4 and plan to upgrade to PlayStation 5, are they going to get the PlayStation 5 version when they buy it on PlayStation 4?
Yeah,
because like that's actually gonna make Sony look bad to an extent.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's why Microsoft has been been pushing this so hard. Part of me wonders if they don't know something that we don't.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why they're pushing this. You know, this could ultimately be their sharing games moment.
Yeah.
You know, what PlayStation 4 did, where they're like, you know, the whole how do you share games with your friends and they can say, you know, like this could ultimately be their, right. You know, hey, you don't have to buy a game twice, you know.
Right.
Unlike Sony, you don't have to buy a game twice.
Right. So this is like we've talked about for a long time. This is kind of a perfect storm for Xbox. They've been so consistent about their messaging. They've been so, you know, for the most part, so open about, you know, what we're seeing and what we're getting and who's participating and, you know, what the Xbox Series X can do. And I just think it's a perfect storm with, you know, Game Pass and smart delivery, and you're seeing everything that they've talked about over the last 4 or 5 years finally coming to a point, and they're aggressively going to take on Sony. I know we're going to talk about this a little bit on Arsenal X, but some analysts believe that them waiting, they're going to sell. A lot of analysts are predicting that the Xbox Series X is going to come in at $400. They're going to sell it at $400 and take a loss because of Game Pass and and stuff like that. So
yeah, like, well, you know, I've like, we know, like, between the two, you know, Sony isn't exactly a poor company.
No,
like, as far, you know, they have money, but they don't have Microsoft money to take like a much bigger loss on the console front to try to bring people into the, because, you know, for them, when you have things like Game Pass and, you know, like, and you've got the ability, you know, for the xCloud stuff and all those things, and the Game Pass Ultimate, you know, where if you have PC, you can take advantage of not only playing the games that you want to play on your Xbox, but also on a PC, and you're getting the ability to play some of those games early, and you're getting, you know, like, Game Pass alone, if they start bringing a lot of new people in, and they just get, you know, like, even half of the people who buy a play on Series X get Game Pass, that in the long run, it's going to end up, you know, like, paying for stuff, because there's going to be at some point games in Game Pass that people play that are no longer on Game Pass, and you know, they're going to buy them. Well, like, people are going to buy games from Game Pass.
Well, if you know, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed, but games that leave Game Pass, like, the week they're leaving Game Pass, they have a keep playing sale, which is these are the games that are leaving Game Pass, but they're on sale if you want to keep playing it, right? Like, I think when the Arkham games left Game Pass, they were selling the whole collection for like $7 for all 3 games. And it was like, that's like I mean, $7 for all 3 of those games is a no-brainer anyway. I think all those games are great, you know, but like, yeah, I think that's another way because Phil Spencer has said they've seen people buy more games that are subscribed to Game Pass, right? And I think that's how they're getting people to buy games, is putting them on sale when they leave Game Pass, you know? And I think you're going to, I don't want to make this sound kind of like Microsoft's going to get greedy here, but I think that's a good way to get people to buy more games, is like, you know, maybe you see games, because we've seen Bethesda games. Bethesda's games are just now leaving Game Pass, like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff. They're leaving Game Pass. But they were on there for like 2 or 3 years. Like, when did Game Pass launch? Doom's been on there since Game Pass launched, I think.
Yeah.
So if you shorten up that contract period to, like, instead of 2 or 3 years, you shorten the Game Pass contract up to like 3 to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think you're gonna start seeing games be available a shorter amount of time on Game Pass, and then them
have a big sale when these games go off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I could see them doing bigger games for shorter periods of time.
Yeah.
I mean, they would, like maybe they would still keep their lower budgeted indie games on there for like a year still.
Yeah, but I mean, even games like Ashen, that game was only on there for what, 6 months?
Well, Ashen, I think it was on there for a year exactly.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think it was exactly a year because I think it was the year anniversary that it came off of the Game Pass.
Okay. I just remember that game wasn't. It's like it was on there and then it wasn't. And we've talked about it a lot too, where you wanted to buy that game because it wasn't on Game Pass anymore.
Yeah, which I will be here eventually. I just right now I've kind of picking and choosing where I spend money.
Yeah.
So I had to get some new headphones, and so that was my extra money for a little while here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Xbox is doing a lot of great things. I mean, I'm still excited to see what Sony's gonna bring because they said that Horizon could be a launch window game, and I think I think once Sony shows a game or two and they show the console, we're going to have a very different conversation than we're having right now. I mean, I think this is just like people are being too negative. I think they're being too positive about Xbox and too negative about PlayStation. And, rightly so, because Microsoft's making all the right moves and Sony hasn't really done anything. They released their controller in a PlayStation blog post for whatever reason. Like that could have been such an exciting moment to reveal the controller, right, through a video or something, and they just haven't. Like they haven't even done any state of plays yet, and which I assume we're going to get one probably at the end of May or June for The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima.
Which, speaking of, so Xbox hasn't announced anything for next month.
There is something
apparently
next month.
Yeah, but apparently there's people who are like in the press and media stuff that had mentioned something about something.
I think instead of an Inside Xbox, they're going to be part of IGN's summer game thing.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. I think it was the IGN. Someone from IGN had mentioned something about they will have stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think was it but it's kind of like I feel the same way about Sony as I did about this Inside Xbox. That like it it just I don't know, they not saying anything and or not just kind of being quiet about things and not really delivering on what they should be delivering on right now is kind of where my disappointment is. Because I want to know, that's the thing, is I want to know more about the PS5 because I want them to give me a reasons why I need to get one, because I would like to get one. Yeah. Because I would like to be able to, because I think this next generation is going to be much different than the previous two. I think this is we're actually going to see both consoles really, hitting the marks, but the way things are going with Sony right now, it makes me worried that they're just not prepared for, they're not as on top of their stuff as Microsoft is right now. And it makes me worried because I know a lot of people have said, in the past, that the reason to get a PS4 was because, yeah, they not all of the games that they make that are exclusive for PS4 are all like big, massive games, but they, they let people make the games that they want to make and they release them on their console. And like that had been the big complaint about Xbox for the longest time, is that they seemed like they only wanted to fund the games that were going to make them a lot of money, and they've kind of now proven with all these little games that these big developers are getting to make that are like passion projects and stuff like that. Like they're finally doing that, now. So I just hope that Sony hasn't lost sight of those things that are the reasons why so many people picked Sony over Microsoft, this generation. And, like, because we've seen it so many times in the past where people get, do super well, and then they just completely forget about all the reasons why they're at the top of the hill, So it just makes me worried, because I want to see a very, very competitive generation where both consoles are just throwing blows, back and forth and really pushing each other to be better,
Yeah.
like that, because we'll all benefit from that.
Yeah. So
and it's disappointing that they're not out there getting anything out, like trying to say, like have a back and forth. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's because Sony doesn't have to. Well, there comes a point where
you have to. You can't just not,
And that's what makes me worried. That's like if they're being, in my opinion, if it's true that they are just sitting back on their own accord and they're not saying anything because they feel like they don't have to, you're being a little too arrogant, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if people are
gonna make you negative, in my opinion.
Yeah, people are comparing it to the PlayStation 3 generation, and that's something that Sony, I know, does not want to relive. And if they don't show something, like, I think all they need is like they could do like similar stuff that Xbox did today. All they need is like a teaser. Okay, God of War 5 is coming. Horizon is coming, Spider-Man is coming, and you throw a couple third parties in there like Avengers and some other stuff. Just you can show like 5 or 6 games and people will be like, okay, Sony's back on track. And that's all you have to do. Like when you reveal the console, right? You just show 5 or 6 games that are coming, and that's all you need. So
because like Xbox has stuff that's still coming out for this generation that they've been showing, and they're showing stuff for next generation. Yeah. And all we have is The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
For PlayStation, and it's completely dead and silent.
But I think in PlayStation's defense that The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima are 2 games that are bigger than anything that more high profile, I should say, than anything Microsoft is releasing the rest of the year, right? I think the 2 biggest games Microsoft had this year were Gears Tactics, it's out, and I mean Gears Tactics still coming to Xbox some point this year, but it's out on PC, and Ori, I would argue, are the 2 biggest games they've had. Although Bleeding Edge and Minecraft Dungeons is coming, and
Minecraft Dungeons is going to be big.
Oh yeah,
that's good. That, in my opinion, would be bigger on a sales point.
I think it's going to be the biggest game that comes out this year from both first parties by far, especially because Minecraft Dungeons is on everything, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying in the hardcore gamer sphere, or whatever you want to call it, like those 2 games are what people are looking forward to the most. And the only caveat to Sony not saying anything about PlayStation 5 is they still have 2 huge marketing cycles to go through for games on PlayStation 4, whereas Xbox is kind of done, in terms of their major system selling
games. So where, you know, Sony still has 2 games left to go. So I think after The Last of Us comes out, I would actually argue that you're going to see PlayStation 5 stuff at the end of May, before, you know, The Last of Us comes out and Ghost of Tsushima. But those are the marketing cycles that they still have to go through before they start releasing more information. Because like you want to do it in May so you can start getting pre-orders out on these consoles, right? Like, you're you need pre-orders to start at the latest July. And to know how many units you're going to need for a pre-order, you know, allotment, and then to see how many you can actually ship to stores, you know, pending Corona doesn't eat up all your manufacturing time. So
you know, like there's a lot of things that come into play about how this next generation of game systems sells. Like, you know, like because I mean, I don't know, but it feels like sometimes that the Xbox, it feels like, just the way things have been going, it feels like the Xbox Series X has been kind of in production already. Whereas, you know, the PS5 feels like they may have just started not that long ago. So like I could see the Xbox Series X having more consoles available than the PS5, and there being a point where people are like, well, if I want to play this or I want to play that the best way, the only thing on the shelves right now is the Xbox, so I'm gonna get that, you know. Like I could see that happening. Not a massive amount of people doing that, but even if 1 or 2 people are getting an Xbox because there isn't a PS5 there, that's still someone then that's going to be into that ecosystem that isn't on the PlayStation now, you know, for the time being.
Ooh. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we're gonna keep talking about these consoles until they're out and beyond. So I'm still looking to get Series X first, and the only thing that could drive me to PlayStation 5 right now is if Horizon came to PlayStation at launch. And at this point, I don't even know if that's going to get me to get it at launch, just because I'm so invested in not only the Xbox ecosystem, but the 2 games I want to play the most right now are Halo Infinite and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I already have the whole series on Xbox of Assassin's Creed, so I'm not going to, jump ship at this point. So, but I'm excited for both consoles. And, there's still, Switch still has stuff to talk about this year, too. That they came out and said during their financial report that they have a lot of games still planned to come this year that they haven't announced yet, because a lot of people were concerned that Nintendo's lineup this year was very sparse. Which they're not wrong, right? I mean, the only 2 games they have right now, first party wise, are Xenoblade and Xenoblade, and I think they're publishing Bravely Default 2. So, and obviously they have a lot of the 2K library coming to the system in May, and
whatever the Mario stuff is that they've kind of been talking about, the Paper Mario and all that.
Yeah, but they haven't. Nintendo hasn't officially revealed that yet. Those are just like people talking about it in rumors and stuff. But in terms of what has been announced, it's after July, Catherine is the last game announced for this year. And that's kind of it. So I expect Nintendo to say something, and people are saying their June Direct has been canceled, but I think they're going to have something.
Well, the one they had planned may have been canceled.
Yeah.
But they might be retooling it, and it might just be like another day than the day they had originally planned. That, you know, that doesn't mean that they're not going to have something that month. It just means what they were planning on doing, they may have to retool and redo, because maybe they want to get a bigger one out there to cover more stuff instead of trying to plan little ones throughout. You know, like I could see them trying to maybe do like a more of an E3 style thing. Maybe they're like, well, let's look at what time, you know, this and this company aren't really doing much of anything, and try to plan it for a time when it doesn't land when some other, you know, company's doing a big reveal or whatever, you know. Like I think maybe they're just trying to plan something a little bit different, so they don't have to keep on, you know, doing a whole bunch of little things. Maybe they want to try to plan a bigger thing instead or something. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be going on with that, but yeah, it's amazing though, like that the sales numbers for Animal Crossing, that in 11 days they sold 11 million copies.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. That's awesome, though. Like, I mean, like that game couldn't have come at a better time, though. Like, I think that was just like a perfect storm of just a lot of things going on that kind of helped. You know, people had a lot more free time, and you know, a lot of people were streaming it and stuff like that. I think ultimately the streaming and stuff community helped that. Yeah. I mean, people who don't really normally play games. There's the show that I listen to, their intern, because of the stay-at-home stuff. Her and all of her friends did a meetup in Animal Crossing, and they threw a birthday party for one of their friends in the Animal Crossing world. Like, they left her gifts and stuff at her house. and like had a meeting, and so I mean, like, you know, there's just a lot of things like that have kind of helped. I feel like just make that such a great game to come out at just the perfect time. So
yeah. Well, I do have a hard out in about 10 minutes. Have you been playing anything interesting? You want to talk about like a game or two that you've been playing before we get out of here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I honestly haven't played too much. I've been kind of jumping here and there back into to Modern Warfare, and then you know, I've been playing Control, which, like, I won't go too much into detail about that, but like, because I didn't really do my bookmark on Monday because I didn't start it until Monday. Yeah. Because I just didn't get a chance to get to it. But you know, I'm about at the point of where you meet the character Marshall, and kind of yeah, that's, you know, that's where I'm at the point of is like, I basically am going up to like the Black Rock whatever area where there's like you got to get the stone thing for a machine thing that you're trying to turn on. But that's where I'm at on that, and I just been trying to play that because restarted it and stuff, and so
yeah. But I mean, I also restarted Control. I am at a point where there's like I got my first power where it's like the pushing power where you like push people away, and I'm in this room where there's like this triangle or this pyramid hanging from the ceiling. Yeah. It's all red, and like, yeah, I'm really struggling to kill these people in this room. So I was like, I don't know. I feel like this is the point where I stopped playing the last time, and I was just kind of like, I need to push through this because it's just I don't understand why this part is like really it's hindering my enjoyment of the game because I've played it so many times. But there's like this big guy with like a pack on his back, and he's he's just like he's not your standard grunt kind of character, right? He's just kind of like the
well, okay, so here, like, just to help you out with this, so you've gotten the force, like where you can grab stuff, right? You got that one.
No, it's the one where
you don't.
It's
you don't have the force where you can like pick up stuff and throw it.
No, it's just the one where you push people away. Okay. I've just been trying to shoot them all.
Okay.
I think I just need to. Do I need to find that power before I go to that room?
I think so. Because I'm trying to think of. Because like the problem is. I guess I don't know exactly what point you're at. I'll have to see. Like maybe you can stream it one of these days because
I mean I think I'm going to try to stream it tonight actually, because I need to do my bookmark for next week because I've been so into Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I can't think about anything else, and when I go to play another game I'm like, man, I wish I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, to the point where like I asked my wife if I could just use her Android tablet to play Xbox stuff, and I'm like, it's mostly because I want to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey and finish up some Destiny stuff while we're watching TV.
Yeah.
So, because it's not on iOS yet, so.
Because the thing is so once you get that the force, like it gets so much easier, because all you got to do is pick up something and chuck it at the regular guys and it will kill them in one hit, instantly, and then you can save your bullets for the stronger guys. But yeah, definitely I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if you can get that force power first. I don't remember.
Unless this is the part where I get it.
Yeah, it could be, because I mean there are going to be a lot of parts where there are guys that are a little bit stronger. Now the guys that you're talking about, does he have like a red field around him, like a circle thing around him, or is he just a little bit more powerful guy?
He's just a little bit more powerful, it seems like.
Okay. Yeah, definitely headshots though are gonna obviously take a lot more do a lot more damage, but in the beginning I do feel like the main thing is you're kind of treating the game more like a cover based shooter, where you're trying to hide behind stuff and kind of pick your shots and then go back behind cover. And while you're reloading and whatever, just to but yeah, it is a little hard in the beginning, just because like your health bar and all those things are just very, very easily drained. So like you're sticking points into upgrades and things like that. So, but
so I'll play more tonight. I'll try to figure it out tonight. It was also like super late when I got to that part, and I was kind of like honestly half falling asleep because it was like a Thursday night and I had to be at work the next day. So I just kind of, I just put it before I got like really frustrated. So
honestly, the one other thing, bit of advice that I'll give to you is, honestly, don't feel bad by going online and looking up I totally have the IGN wiki open, the walkthrough wiki open the whole time, because like I know this is a Metroidvania style game, and I'm like, I'm not about to be exploring this place for 30 hours, because to be honest, I'm like really bad at Metroidvania games, and I really just want to get through this so we can talk about it for the book club episode. So but yeah, like I totally have the walkthrough open because I just
you know, and I have my laptop. I had my laptop open for YouTube and the walkthrough open on my phone. So I mean, I'm totally prepared to just like blow through it. How long is Control, by the way? How long did it take you to?
I honestly I wouldn't know, only because my gameplay of it was so broken up where there was like months in between me playing it. So I I don't know, maybe altogether probably like 30 hours or 40. I don't know.
Oh, well, I Googled it and it said our initial playthrough of Control took less than 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, games.
See, for me though, like I also, when I played it the first time, like I was totally just playing it without looking anything up.
Yeah.
So like it was taking me like 5 hours to finally find where to go because the map is just so bad.
Yeah, they said doing all the side missions and getting all the collectibles and stuff, it could take upwards of 40 hours.
Okay.
Which
see, and I did do a lot of side missions. So that sounds about right, because I think I did most of the side missions. I think I only had like 2 or 3 side missions left on my game after I finished it. So
yeah, okay, yeah, because I was wondering, and I'm like, I'm trying to like pace myself this month of games that because Control is a game that I want to play, and then I'm trying to use Assassin's Creed as the game is like, okay, I don't really feel like playing anything tonight. I'm just gonna go climb some mountains and gather some collectibles and stuff type game. But I'm trying to balance 3 Xbox games right now. Well, 4 technically if you count Gears Tactics, but so yeah, I mean I've been playing Control. I've been playing a little bit more Gears Tactics, which is I can't wait till that game comes to Xbox. I hate using a mouse and keyboard. I plugged in my Xbox controller on my computer to play it because like I just can't. I can't. But the controller functionality is great. Like it works just fine. So
okay.
I've been playing that. I've been playing a little bit more Destiny. I'm as big of a Destiny fan as I used to be. I still haven't beaten Shadowkeep, the campaign for Shadowkeep, and I'm just like, man, Bungie's teasing a new expansion to launch with the new consoles alongside the new consoles, and I want to be, I want to be caught up at least in the campaign side. So, I also, there's a broken achievement in Destiny now since they went free to play and they changed the way you level up and stuff. Any character that you don't already have leveled up, there's an achievement for leveling up all of your subclasses. But all the subclasses are already leveled up when you start a new game. So there's no way to get that achievement. So I wanted to try, because I only need the hunter achievement and to beat a raid on hard mode are the only 2 achievements left that I need to get all the achievements in base Destiny. And I can't do the hunter one because of the broken achievement. So
I wonder if that will get fixed though with the next expansion.
Well, it's been broken since Forsaken came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's because they changed a lot of the achievements when Forsaken came out, because they changed a lot of the gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
So I really don't know this. Yeah, so I hope that they fix that, but I don't think it's likely. I just guess Bungie doesn't care enough about it to fix it. Or I wonder if they did fix it, it would break something in the game, so they just can't. But they should just unlock it.
Get rid of it.
Or they should just unlock it for everybody who creates a hunter. Like, just... Yeah. So... Yeah. But other than that, Assassin's Creed Odyssey has just kind of been my go-to game. It's... I don't know. I got sucked back in real hard. I woke up... The cat woke me up early this morning.
So you played a little bit.
So yeah, I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning, and I played until about 8:40 when my wife woke up,
and all I did was unlock areas in the map. I tried to run around the map because they have these special items like the ancient I forget what they call them. They're like the ancient tablets that you can collect, and what's the other thing called? There's these little blue rocks that you need to collect throughout the game to get special items and stuff. So I bought the map that shows you where all all those items are. Okay. Holy crap! There's probably like 400 of these things.
Korok seeds.
It's nowhere near Korok seed level, but the map is huge. So getting to each one is like it's a chore to get to each one.
And you don't have a glider that you can just jump off a mountain and glide to something.
Yeah, but I've been doing that, and I'm really going to thoroughly explore the Assassin's Creed series this year. I think, at least on Xbox for now. It's really fun. I looked at to get all the achievements for the base game and all the DLC. It takes about 130 hours, which is a lot of time. But I want to beat it before. I at least want to beat Odyssey before Valhalla comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I also booted up Assassin's Creed 1 because they did an Xbox One X enhancement on it.
Oh, okay.
It looks better than some games that come out now. With maybe not the character models so much, but the environments and the lighting work, the redone lighting work, and just the textures that they've updated and stuff looks really good. Like, it's a really, really good looking game still. So they're doing the work. I can't, man, the games that run in 4K, like the 360 games that run in 4K, still look great. So
yeah.
But it
pays to put that work in and make those games look better.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft's really putting in the work for sure. For those, like, a lot of people won't even notice or care, right? But those people that do care, it's fun it's really cool to see them do that stuff. So I'm going to explore some more backwards compatible stuff because all the original Xbox games are actually only like $10.
Yeah,
on the store.
They're pretty cheap. So I still need to for Switch. I still need to get the Oddworld games too.
Yeah, Strangers.
I forget it's.
What?
Oh, what was that? What was that?
Stranger's Wrath is amazing. If you haven't played it, it's really good.
And the Oddworld, whatever it is, Exodus is on Switch as well. Now there's like 2 or 3 games on there.
I know Munch's Odyssey is coming out.
Yeah, Munch's Odyssey,
which was
yeah. So it must just be pre-order, but it's in the store.
It's actually a pretty good deal if you pre-order it. It's $10 off if you pre-order it, which is a good deal. I mean, that game, it was good at the time. I don't know how well it holds up, but
Abe's Exodus was the better one, I think. But
I know they're remaking. I know Abe's Odyssey is coming out. The new and tasty version to Switch and everything at some point. I think it might already be on Xbox. But speaking of 3D platformers, did you know that Voodoo Vents got a remaster and it's on Xbox and it's on sale for $3?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I haven't played Voodoo Vents in a long time.
It's like $374 on Xbox right now. I
might have to pick that up.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, I remember Voodoo Vents when I got my original Xbox because I got that instead of Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah.
And and I was like, oh man, this is cool. I mean, it's an okay 3D platformer, but for $3, right? Like, I mean, why not? So.
Yeah, and I had looked into a little bit because I remember hearing about it, but I didn't remember what it exactly looked like, but I was kind of listening to some of the older episodes of the Secret Friends Unite their video game podcast, and Todd was talking about the Chex. The Chex. Is it Chex Quest or whatever game that they're re-releasing it in HD or in like they're updating it and everything, and it's like $130 collector's edition version of it that you'll get.
What?
That comes with like a shirt, and it comes with a statue of the Chex Man or the like you're talking about it, and it actually sounds interesting. So. Wow. I might actually look at it. I think you'll be able to get the game by itself for like $40 or something like that.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap up our show. I do have a heart out today, so we're gonna cut it a little bit short. We're kind of doing a dinner thing for my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, wife, if you're listening. She's not listening. She doesn't listen. She doesn't care. But yeah, we're gonna get some pizza and play some we're actually having our nephews over, and we're gonna play some Switch games. So
nice.
Yeah, nice. I had to re-download 1-2 Switch because like for non-gamers that game's fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I downloaded that, and I updated Snipper Clips and Mario Party and Mario Kart. So those are hopefully the games we're going to focus on because, I don't think they really care about Darksiders Genesis or The Witcher or, Mario plus Rabbids. So
yeah,
that should be fun though. I'm excited. I also, my nephew wants to start his own YouTube channel. He's 7. So we might be playing around with that at some point in the following days.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching us live here on Mixer and Twitch. If you haven't joined us live before, please join us on Saturdays at 1:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games Live and mixer.com/Boss Rush Games Live. You can also watch us live on YouTube and download our show on Monday mornings on podcast services everywhere and the edited version on YouTube as well. Just search for Boss Rush Games or Boss Rush Podcast. You can download our family of shows, which includes Nintendo Pow Block, Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. Coming soon, actually, an update I meant to do at the top of the show. Boss Rush Expansion Pack is getting its own feed where our 1v1 interviews will be held, our book club episodes, our expansion pack discussions, our standard definition episodes, and more will be housed there, as well as their proper feeds. Also, I think I'm going to do it now, Jesse. We are working on a PlayStation podcast. It's going to be a little bit different than these podcasts, since we're not all of us are huge PlayStation fans, but we do have friends that are. So we're announcing Crossroads, a PlayStation podcast here on Boss Rush Games. You can check out that show in the coming weeks. We're going to bring in guests from all over the podcast world, such as Diggity Podcast and the Trophy Room, and a lot of friends from around the internet will be joining us on that show as well to talk about PlayStation and get the PlayStation experts' opinions on the PlayStation. So that is coming as well, and that will hopefully be. I want to launch it around the time the show hits episode 50. We're still putting stuff together. And I kind of want PlayStation to announce something before we start that show. I think starting fresh with a PlayStation 5 look would be a good way to start that show. But also check all that out. Check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/BossRushGames, and our website at bossrushgames.com. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Yeah, and you can find me at I am CorianHD on Twitter and Instagram, and CorianHD on Mixer and Twitch. I want to thank everybody so much for watching and or listening. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you consume our content. And until next week, we love you.